Stu, are you familiar with SHPANTS?
Not me personally, but yeah, I know what they are.
Like you could visualize what they look like right now?
I can visualize several forms of them.
So SHPANTS, which is probably exactly what the folks are picturing in their minds right now, are like short pants or pant shorts. So like long, I guess, shorts.
Yeah.
But like they look like pants from the top. Like it's hard to explain, you know what I mean? Like they go over the knee, but like longer than like cargo shorts. They're pretty stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a whole bunch of different versions of SHPANTS, and that's what I mean. Like, because you've got the like capris, which are basically like what they cut off at your shin. So they're almost like form fitting and then cut off at your shin, right?
Yeah.
Like high up flood pants or something. Then you've got, as you said, those cargos, and especially if you're putting anything in cargo shorts.
Oh yeah,
that's not staying on your waist, guaranteed. Like that's going way down.
You're gonna pants yourself.
You're gonna pants yourself, and then you've got like the basketball shorts, which are oversized, right? Like. They don't like look like pants as much as like a capri, but they're definitely over the knee, like you said. And all of this, and I'm sure there are other examples that our listeners can tell us about. All of these are unacceptable, especially for anyone over the age of 17. Like if you're over,
you're already pushing it at 17.
You're pushing it. But if you're over the age of 17, your shorts cannot go past your knees. It's as simple as that. And I'm not saying you've got to have some, thigh-high jorts, but it's got to be a nice fit that comes up, gives you a nice little sort of buffer action between top of kneecap to quad.
Yeah. No. That's perfect. You laid it out perfect. If you can get a nice little cuffer going on top of the knee, you've basically made it. Let me tell you a quick story. I traveled, I backpacked in Europe when I was 20 years old by myself. I was in Italy one time and met up with a friend, and they were in school there. So they had like a group of friends. So I remember it was the first night I was meeting everybody, shaking hands, and this guy rolls up, and he's SHPANTsing. He's like SHPANTsing out of control. He's in a full SHPANT. He's in SHPANT mode.
But this is in Europe.
Yeah, but he was a Canadian in Europe.
Oh, well, so there you fucking go.
Okay, so he was a Canadian in Europe, SHPANTsing hard. The SHPANTs was out of control. He had, listen to this, cutoffs, like a cutoff shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, so cutoff shirt, SHPANTs, and then naturally socks.
Yeah.
And Crocs.
Yeah.
And that's the look, man. That's the SHPANT culture.
It is an egregious offense to any sort of fashion, let alone being in Europe and do it. However, you could always point out the stupid fucking North American out there because they look like that, right? He's probably got some backwards hat with a Vancouver Canucks cut off. He's SHPANTsing and he's got the socks and jandals, and you're going, buddy, like hit one of the flea markets and go get yourself sorted out ASAP. Drop 60 euro. And let's, I'm not saying go hit Champs-Élysées and go get some Louis Vuitton, straight from the source. But I'm saying you got to look somewhat presentable, because on all of that point, the Europeans look and they're like, oh, yeah, like, no shit, right? Like, it's this fucking guy. Because like some stupid American or some stupid Canadian. And usually, and if you're anybody who has any sense, such as maybe people like yourself and me, you will avoid them like the plague. And the second, if they ask for directions or something in English, you're going to respond in French and get the hell out of there, because you don't want to be associated with a guy like that. They're going to say, oh, you're friends with the SHPANTser? Oh, fuck. I never met this guy in my entire life, brother. I don't want anything to do with the SHPANTs. When you come off the plane and you get to Europe, bro, you are speedoing. I've got a Brazilian, you know.
Even as a guy. You got a Brazilian yourself.
Even as a guy, you got it, you know, you're waxing up your butt crack and the whole nine just to make sure you look primo. Because if you're going to go hit the beach like that, if you're going to go hit the beach with like some, like, I don't know, Volcom board shorts or something.
Nah.
I mean, again, if you're like 16 and you're super into skateboarding and things like that, groovy. But but that's pretty much the extent of it right there. And I'm not trying to disrespect Volcom here or anything like that. I'm just trying to say, like, I'm just trying to say that there becomes a certain level where you have to be slightly more aware of your age appropriate dressing. I think we've talked about it in the past about weather appropriate dressing. Age appropriate dressing is almost even bigger because you can tell usually, like, put a fitted on somebody, automatically they drop down to a teenager.
Yeah, like you don't see a lot of dads in their late 40s, you know, walking down the street in like basketball jerseys or like, I don't even know. Sometimes you do though. That's the problem. Sometimes you see people just living in the straight up past and they're like rocking like their skateboard outfit from, you know, 1998 or something like that. It's nuts. I mean,
usually that's in a small town because it's for some reason they didn't get the internet or something where they're still wearing
dial-up. They're still on dial-up.
They're still going to like the local shop and like getting all sort Mark Echo and
prepaid phones.
Prepaid phone cards and oversized jerseys and ball caps and stuff like that. And like, listen, pretty much if you're not, you know, a professional ball player or going to some sort of sporting event, you shouldn't be wearing that shit, man. And the same goes for like jerseys of any sort. You know what I mean? You're going to the TFC game or wherever if you're somewhere else and this and that. I get it. But like rocking just the jersey, like you're going to like a nice function in a jersey of any sort. I mean, that's no different than a shoes on party, man. You're getting kicked the fuck out.
You made me remember something. I had this like weight set that I never used.
Yeah.
And I put it on Craigslist and some dude came to pick it up and buy it off me. And he came from Barrie.
Oh yeah.
Barrie, Ontario.
I know exactly what he looks like. You don't even have to describe.
So check it out. Then let me see if we can already picture this. All right.
Okay.
Covered in tats.
Yep.
One of them was on his neck and was the DC logo.
Okay.
Okay, so we could just start right there. Hat backwards, red beard, cutoffs, whole bunch of jewelry on the wrists and whatever, shorts, DC shoes. I don't know what that brand has done to like middle America and like the suburbs or whatever it is, but they're crushing it. They are crushing it with that demographic. And guess what he did for a living?
Some sort of like construction roofing or truck oriented thing.
He was a manta ray farmer, like stingray. You know stingrays, like from the ocean.
Where the fuck are there stingrays in Barrie?
He has a pool, and he farms them in his backyard. And he bought these weights because he didn't have time to go to the gym.
You know what he also is? A liar. He doesn't have any fucking manta rays. This lying piece of shit. You know,
was he trying to impress me?
Yeah. He was like, hey, by the way, got these Bowflexes on me. And by the way, I'm a manta ray farmer. You're like, first of all, how do you farm wild animals that are especially meant for like water when A, you're in Barrie and you don't have any water, B, you try to get one of those things. I'm sure that is some sort of like crime against animal cruelty or crime against humanity or some sort of WWF thing charge. Like if you're just like, yeah, I'm going to go drive down to, I don't know, Pensacola, Florida or something, and I'm going to steal a bunch of manta rays and drive them up to Barrie. It's going to take me 2.5 days. I guarantee you the FBI and the fucking CSIS is going to get involved because you've crossed state borders and country borders and stuff like that. Of ripping off a bunch of wild animals.
Yeah. But if you're interested in a manta ray, I do have 30% off.
You are now listening to the Fierce Kingz Podcast.